Hi, I'm Bob Curry, President of Curry Management Consultants. I wanted to talk to you today about the phenomenon of mergers and acquisitions that we see sweeping through distribution. A fascinating part of the business. It's probably the most fun to work in. I often refer to it as the Forrest Gump part of our work. When Forrest Gump would say it's like a box of chocolates, you never know what you're going to get. So mergers and acquisitions can be fascinating. One of the things that we see happening in this whole process is we need to start addressing the concerns of both the manufacturer and the dealer, and those concerns can be quite diverse. Manufacturers are concerned about small customers being satisfied with a larger distribution organization, and dealers themselves often say, well, if I get involved in a merger and I'm only a 30% player, am I still relevant? And relevance is an important issue to a lot of owners. But in actual practice, when we start doing these mergers or when we do an acquisition, one of the things that we look at is cultural fit. So some assessment needs to be done about the cultural compatibility between company A and B, or when we've done a 5-dealer roll-up, the cultural compatibility among all 5 dealers. This often leads to the issue of, well, maybe we're not going to merge, but I like to merge for a short period of time, so the transaction actually becomes an acquisition disguised as a merger. So getting that whole cultural understanding put together is the important part of basically step 1. Step 2 usually involves valuation, and there are a number of different ways you can do valuations, but one of our issues is valuation must result in a price point that establishes asset value and a premium. That when we talk about enterprise value, it can get a little bit more convoluted. But when we talk asset value and a premium over assets, and sometimes the premium is 0, but that's really the most important methodology to make sure that we're all communicating correctly. When the valuation is completed and we get some sense of how that's supposed to work, then we need to get into shareholder agreement. And I'll make the point, it's easy to get into a merger, it's more difficult to get out. So let's plan on the exit process when we do the original agreement so that everyone is clear about what will happen in 2 to 3 years. Finally, and I think probably the most value we bring to our clients is the post-transaction integration work. We don't want to see the clients flounder for 3 to 6 months on how we're going to get this process effective. We like to be involved early on, making sure everyone understands the game plan, everyone understands their role, and we can get the results as quickly as possible. So those are some of the highlights involved in this merger and acquisition process. We do mergers and acquisitions, it seems like every day now. So if you have any questions, give me a call.